In the long history of the British monarchy, no story has captured the world's imagination quite like that of King Edward VIII, a man born to rule but remembered as the king who gave up his crown for love. On the 23rd of June, 1894, inside White Lodge at Richmond Park, London, a boy was born. His name was Edward Albert Christian George Andrew Patrick David, but to his family, he was simply David. This child would one day change the course of the British monarchy forever. As the eldest son of the future King George V and Queen Mary, Edward was destined for the throne. He grew up under strict discipline, schooled in duty, and later trained at Osborne and Dartmouth naval colleges. During the First World War, though forbidden to fight on the front lines, Edward earned respect for his frequent visits to soldiers at the front. When his father became king in 1910, Edward was invested as the Prince of Wales in a dazzling ceremony at Caernarfon Castle the following year. Young, handsome, and charismatic, he quickly became the most popular royal of his age. Newspapers adored him, society followed his every move. Yet, beneath the glamour, Edward was restless and drawn to a life of parties, nightclubs, and scandalous affairs with married women. And then, everything changed. In the early 1930s, Edward met a woman who would redefine his destiny, Wallis Warfield Simpson. Born in Pennsylvania in 1896, Wallis had lived a turbulent life. She had already divorced her first husband, a US Navy officer, and was married again to Ernest Simpson, a wealthy shipping executive. Wallis was witty, fashionable, and utterly captivating. By 1934, she had become the center of Edward's world. On the 20th of January, 1936, King George V died, and Edward became King Edward VIII. But with the crown came controversy. Almost immediately, Edward made it clear he intended to marry Wallis, once her divorce from Ernest was finalized. This set off a storm. The British government, led by Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin, objected fiercely. The reasons were clear. Wallis was twice divorced, both ex-husbands still alive, and the king, as head of the Church of England, was expected to uphold values where divorce was forbidden. Beyond that, the governments of the Dominions, Canada, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, were equally opposed. Edward faced a choice: abandon